Shalom Hovering, James Trimm here. This is a little bit different type of video than I usually do on this channel. Last Thursday, late afternoon, not long before the first night of Hanukkah, my wife and I got some terrible news. We were notified that the owners of the home that we've been renting for the past 7 years have chosen not to renew the lease. Um, we had kind of anticipated that as long as we paid our rent on time, we were good renters, and we have been, that we would not be forced to leave. We would, as long as we could maintain the rent and the rent didn't get jacked up too high, that we could stay here indefinitely. But that has turned out not to be the case. And at this point, we don't know where we will be living 3 months from now. In fact, we have less than 3 months to get out and to find someplace else to go. Um, the move is going to be a very big problem for us. Uh, uh, we have uh, beloved dogs, which are, for those that don't know, my wife is chronically ill. She's disabled and she suffers from chronic pain. Um, so the move is going to be difficult on her and on us. My own health isn't what it once was, so I can't really participate much in moving furniture or major appliances. So we're going to have to hire movers for one thing. Um, and I can pack up boxes and move boxes, but there's also going to have to be, so there's going to be some money involved in movers. There's going to be some money involved in, well, if we have to rent again, uh, there will be money involved in putting down a deposit before we get this deposit back, assuming we do get this deposit back. So moving is going to be quite expensive. All that plus, the coming up with the initial rent in addition to that. Also, renting is not ideal for a number of reasons. One of those reasons is that, as I mentioned, we have some beloved dogs, and my wife is very attached to the dogs. They are, frankly, it's an overused phrase, but they're emotional support animals for her. And it would be terrible for her to, I can't imagine her having to give them up. Um, and so there's that issue. Obviously, it's better if we can buy rather than continue to rent, especially at this stage of our lives. I'm 57 and will be 58 before we have to be out of here. My wife is younger than me, she's 50, but uh, she's also disabled. We can't be continuing to move and then go somewhere where in a year or two we might have to move again. There's no security there. Rents are only going to go up. Um, and with inflation, meanwhile, if we buy, then we get locked into a house payment that will probably be lower than the rent we've been paying, and that house payment will be the same. It'll it'll stay the same, and then as time goes on, due to inflation, the value of that rent will decrease. The value of that house payment will decrease in terms of, say, gallons of milk, so that 10 years from now it'll seem like a really low house payment. Um, so that it it would be best if we could uh, buy rather than just get back into the cycle of renting with no security and and so on. Um, the more that we can raise, the more I'm going to be able to make more videos and continue to do the manuscript research and publishing and the work that I've been doing towards the restoration of the ancient sect of Nazarene Judaism, the original Jewish followers of Yeshua, to the restoration of the original Hebrew and Aramaic manuscripts of the New Testament, and so on. All of this is I've got maybe, hopefully, Elohim willing, another 30 years of work I can do in that area. Certainly another 20 years. Well, I'm going to say certainly nothing is certain, but um, uh, the more the more we're able to raise now, the it would be great if we could, for example, buy this house outright and not have to leave. Then we wouldn't even, we like this house, but it's unlikely we'll be able to stay here. Um, the next best thing would be to raise enough money for a down payment. And the next thing after that, of course, would be to force to rent somewhere else and still have to pay extra expenses to move and um, all the sorts of things that are going to be involved. Also, we have the limitation of that we can't really move out of this area. It took 2 years for us to find a specialist that would take my wife's case medically, and we could spend another 2 years and still maybe not have replaced him, and she can't afford to go 2 years or even 3 months or even 2 months without that specialty care. So we really need to stay in the area where we are. Our credit's not great, so I don't know how much of a loan we'll be able to qualify for, but hopefully we'll be able to do that. I think we will be able to do that, but the more we have for a down payment, the better off everything's going to be. So we have set up a GoFundMe account. We're basically facing homelessness here. Um, we've got between now and March 1st to get out of here. Um, so we've set up a GoFundMe account. I'm asking if you have benefited from my teaching over the years, if you have benefited from these videos, if you've benefited from the research work that I have done for the past 30 plus years on Hebrew and Aramaic New Testament origins, probably 35 years. If you've benefited from that work, um, if you simply are open to an act of charitable giving, I ask you to please go to our GoFundMe page. There is a link in the video description and help us put down a down payment on a new house or cover moving expenses, help us keep from being homeless. And in a perfect world, even lots of people will donate, so many people will donate so much that we'll be able to buy a house outright. I doubt that will happen, but uh, it would be a nice Hanukkah miracle if it did. So please go to the link in the video description for our GoFundMe page and donate whatever you possibly can to help us solve this imminent problem of homelessness that we are facing between now and March 1st. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. You guys all have a blessed day. We appreciate you so, so much.